Right, folks, get out of the student union. Put down your bagels. Put down your schmear. Okay, or eat them real quick. But we just don't allow food in the classroom. Is basically how that works now.
Y'all need to make room for Thursday anyway. Get good and hungry.
Yeah, you know what? Just put it down. Put it down. You know, store your calories for Thursday. And then walk across the student union. Hop on into this lecture hall, folks. It's time for Days for Dummies. Hey, everybody, it's me, Matt.
Hey, everybody, it's Kat.
Good
Morning.
morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. What is that?
It's a song. It's a song from
A
from a
jingle from
musical.
something.
There's a song from a musical. Good morning. Good morning. Good
Well,
morning
they
to
used to.
you. Which they stole from the musical. I don't know. It's probably Carl's
Speaking of
Jr. or something.
musicals,
Yeah?
I went and saw Wicked.
Did you? You took the
I went and
girls?
saw Wicked on opening
I'm
night.
sure you took them little girls.
It was Girls' Day. It was,
O'Hara and Elphaba is who you took.
yes, and their mothers and myself.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Michelle. Did you have a good time? Did it feel soapy?
No, it did not feel soapy. It was pretty good though, and it was too long. Of course, you know how I am. It's 2 hours and 41 minutes. That is far too long of a
That's a
movie for me.
long. Oh
So
my
I
God! And that's only part
did
one.
take a 10-minute intermission with my eyes closed because I could not help it.
No, that's you. That's you. If there's no soap of violence to be had, then you're gonna go to sleep. I understand.
All right.
Sue says that song we were singing is from Debbie Reynolds. So you're welcome, everybody, for the Debbie Reynolds memories this morning.
Well, I guess it is, isn't it?
I have no idea. I don't know. I
It's
know
even
her
before
from
my time.
Halloween Town. I know her from Halloween Town. And from being Princess Leia's mom.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's where I know her from. And then, of course, in Halloween Town was a Disney Channel thing. And
Mhm.
it had this one actress who was on General Hospital for a minute. She fell in a hole. She was the nurse that took Bailey Lou during the whole
Oh yeah,
Peter
yeah,
thing. And then she
yeah,
fell into a
yeah.
hole. And then a couple of episodes later, they went back to the hole and they looked down in the hole and they went, well, there she is. There's her body.
Yep. It was one of those me moments, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was a villain of the week, though. She wasn't important.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, she was the
there's
villain
your
of the
soap
week.
connection, folks. She was in a movie with Donald O'Connor. I don't know Donald O'Connor.
He's an old actor as well he was quite famous from back in the 30s and 40s, you know.
So
Maybe
famous
even the
like
50s.
Dr. Tom Horton before he was Dr. Tom Horton. You know, he was an
Mm-hmm.
actor. He was an actors. And now we
Oh,
have
was
this man.
he?
Yeah, oh yes. And now we have this man on our soap, you know, our anchoring force. Come watch this man daily on your TV. That's why his voice is the like sands through the hourglass. So are
Sure.
the days of our lives.
You know, there's a lot of like actors from the old times that were quite famous and for older movies and then went to daytime in the 60s or so.
That's how they anchored
A
their
lot of them.
casts, I bet. You
Like,
know?
for instance, Ruth Warwick,
Yeah?
Phoebe from All My Children.
Hmm.
Big actress from before.
Yeah?
Same thing with Anna Lee.
Oh yes. That's right. That's right. That's right. So that's what they did. That's when people wanted to do soap operas, I guess. That's where it was like, ooh, this is where my career has taken me. Now I'm gonna do a soap.
And it was still lucrative.
No wonder people like Dr. Tom Horton and Dr. Steve Hardy went on interviews with Soap Digest and was like, it's so racy. Soaps are so scandalous now in the 80s.
Exactly.
Oh
Exactly.
my gosh. We saw Bill Hayes, or at least Sue saw Bill Hayes, tap dance with Donald O'Connor back in Las Vegas.
That's very
Ooh,
cool. They
it's
did the little soft shoe, I bet.
it's so fun because nowadays there's a clip, there's a picture, there's a video, there's a cell phone something of things like this. Or it was
Hmm.
broadcast on TV or some media agency had a camera nearby to capture these memories forever. It wasn't like that before. There are so many performances of great actors and great performers and greatness that has shared a stage on Broadway, in London, or something like that, where there was nary a camera to be found. And those
Well,
performances only exist in our memories.
well, you know, it's just so weird how technology has just went crazy. I mean, we went from, back in the early 80s with VHS and cameras and actually taking video for yourself, you would have a battery pack that was kind of like a sidearm kind of thing strapped on you. Big old battery pack, big old thing.
Throw the
So it's
batteries over your head.
weighing you down on this side, and then on this side you had the big old camera right here with a big phone sticking out, and the video cameras for personal use back then kind of would remind you of a movie camera from today.
I remember we would have to put an actual VHS tape in it.
Yeah, Colunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Colunk.
Yeah. And then the little mini cassette. Anyway, this has nothing to do with Days of Our Lives.
But just think about how far it's all come in such a short amount of time, where we all have a video camera right here now.
And I tell you, folks, you better be thankful. You better be thankful over the impressive advancements. Oh, I lost my son. We've made in video, because I'm telling you, I'm watching these olden days recorded on these VHS tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
They're scratchy as all get out, huh?
So there's this that's behind it all. The sound is not crisp and the picture is not clear. That's for sure.
So did you watch Olden Days this week?
Did
you
watch
Olden Days?
I watched some Olden Days this week. The continuing adventures of Victor trying to stay one step ahead of Melissa and Pete and Todd, who are following the treasure map of his pictures. Hey, David.
Boy.
Oh, yes. Bill Brady, he was out of town, but he's back in town.
You're like in the late 80s now?
I'm in 1985. Just started.
Oh, you're still in 1985.
Just started September of 1985.
Oh, I'm surprised you're not watching 86 by now.
Well, it's because I selected this time. It's because it was the lead up to the John Black reveal. The John Black. So it's all of the stories that are percolating up to John Black's big debut on Days of Our Lives, which is still a while away, but since Days does long form storytelling. Excuse me, I sneezed. McDonald Carey, that's the guy's name. He plays Dr. Tom Horton. Anyway, so it's like, so they do long form storytelling. So all of this stuff, I guess, is gonna matter when John Black shows up. It's the debut of Victor and Patch. It's what's going on with Kristen and not Kristen, Kimberly and Shane Donovan, who are the parents of Teresa. Their push and pull love story.
Oh boy.
Caroline.
Is there any small children in what you're watching yet?
Yes. Do you remember Kimmy Gibbler from Full House?
I sure do.
She plays Roman's kid.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess Roman had a kid before Marlena, before they had the twins.
Oh,
Eric and Sammy. So Eric and Sammy, they're around. They're just always upstairs. So that's something that's always been a part of soap operas.
Oh, that's been a Days thing, huh? Keep the babes upstairs.
Yeah. So somebody's constantly coming down upstairs saying, we the babies just went to bed. The twins have been put to sleep. They've been given their snack.
Oh, so they've been. This is long term for them not wanting to have too many children about.
Kids are unruly and expensive.
I tell you, who's not unruly, and he's probably not that expensive. And my gosh, the 2 times we've seen him, Matt, what a well-behaved little man-child he was.
Who was?
That plays Thomas.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Twice we've seen him, and twice he's just been so composed.
Yes,
microscopic child. He is. Itty bitty still.
Yeah, Brian. He could teach Brian how to act.
Oh my goodness.
Not like how to act on screen, but just how to act.
Hey, Brian Totillo, I sent you a message. I hope you're watching. Yes, Roman had a daughter named Carrie. I think Anna DeMiro might be her mom. You guys let me know if that's the case. Anna DeMiro. But yeah, so there's a little kid. There's Carrie, played by Kimmy Gibbler from Full House. So that's fun. That's the only child that I've seen though.
Okay.
Yeah. No children, no little bitty children. I can't think of any teenagers that are running around right now either. It's all about the adults. Okay. But the adults aren't like old adults. Like, this is 1985, so Marlena's still like 30, Yeah. So in the prime of her soapness.
Yeah.
Yes, Anna is her mom. Cool. Anna DeMiro was actually on in 2023.
These folks that you've been looking at, who looks the most like they do today?
Josh Taylor.
No, honey, I'm sorry, but that's just not true. I would think that it would be Deidre Hall.
Deidre Hall looks almost exactly like how she used to. She's really like frozen herself in time. You can tell that she's older now than she was in 1985, but very much still the same face. It's hard to say because a lot of the cast isn't the same cast.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But of the I haven't seen Kate, so I don't know Kate. We talked about Maggie last week, and Maggie, she's moved back now. She's moved out of New York. She's moving back to Salem now to be closer to her family, where she needs to be, and everybody's very happy.
I love Maggie, the character of Maggie. I love her.
Hi, Laura. What'd you think of Maggie this week instead of olden days where she's coming back to town to help find Melissa? What do you think of her this week? Being there for Sarah.
I like her. You know what I like about Maggie? She is she's pretty refined, actually. I think I find her as refined. She's not going to fly off the handle and be too crazy, like some of the older women in the show that are her age. Like
she's been through a lot.
Vivian is a nutcase.
She sure is.
Okay. She's a nutcase, and she's an older character on the show.
Living on soaps like this is either going to anchor you or turn you into an absolute nut job.
Yeah. But what I like about Maggie, too, is that she can get assertive if she needs to.
Yes.
I like her. And I like her big old red hair, too.
It is pretty nice, isn't it? She's had that red hair before, too.
Hair.
She's got that same red hair in 1985. This is exact same red hair, just different style.
Yep.
Just a different style. I gotta, I have noticed. I just notice. I don't know if it's because of beauty tech in the 80s or what, but just the volume of hair everybody has.
Oh, well,
men and female.
Sure.
Men.
And that's the 80s is back in glam rock days too, where everybody had hair, big old hair.
There was this one art dealer that took advantage of Ana DiMera, because Ana DiMera and Tony DiMera are married. Okay, Tony DiMera is Stefano's stepson.
Whose stepson?
Stefano's
stepson.
Stepson, Tony.
Okay, so he's not really a DiMera.
He's not really a DiMera, but other than he grew up a DiMera.
Oh. Not currently on the show.
No, he played by Tal Puglis or whatever, who was very famous for, or at least in our neck of the woods. He was Victor before Victor was Victor.
Oh.
Victor Cassadine. Over in General Hospital. The before Charles Shaughnessy, but the other guy.
Oh, yeah. I remember watching him as Victor on the page. Yes.
Tal Puglis or whatever his
name is. And that dude, and he's coming back, I believe. He's going to be back on the screen current.
Yeah, I mean, Tony and Andre DiMera, he played two DiMera people, Tony and Andre, with the same face. I guess they're both still around. Excuse me. So he's married to Ana DiMera, and Ana has no money because her business failed. But Tony, of course, is loaded. But their prenuptial agreement was they were going to handle their own expenses. And she can't handle her own expenses. And so basically that was the comedy offering of August, was there... was her trying to duck Tony noticing she has no money.
Oh.
And so she would sell her dresses and have the furniture repossessed and come up with an excuse as to why, but it all led to a smarmy art dealer taking a statue worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, but only paying Anna $100 for it. Because she was so desperate she wasn't thinking.
He's a shyster.
He was a shyster. Now the shyster man had the thickest Burt Reynolds mustache. He had the most voluminous, combed back hair. Like the slick that exists nowadays and has since the 90s. Not there. Okay, this was pillowy. It was like the other side of Velcro.
Well, I see a lot of big hair. And John had big hair back then.
Yes.
John had big hair. I think who had from the old days, all the photos I've seen. Bo's got some great hair.
Bo's always had great. Well, Bo had great hair in the 80s. I don't know if I still like his hair, like nowadays when it's all short and normal. But that big feathered dude, like the Farrah do, if you will. The Farrah do was great. And men and women both could pull off the Farrah do.
Absolutely, back then. Yeah. And you could pull off a Star is Born Barbara Streisand fro, too.
Ooh, goodness.
Everybody had one.
That's what everybody was going for in olden days, 1985. Kristen is also not a DiMera. She's adopted along with her brother Peter.
Oh.
Says Amaya. Kristen DiMera.
See, and I thought she was such a little... I thought she was such a little vixen devil because she was Stefano's kid.
Nope.
She didn't get it from him.
No. She did only by example, only by permission, by way of having the last name of Demira.
And I bet you he didn't raise her either.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. In the days of our lives, nobody gets raised by their actual parents, it seems.
Well, I don't think anybody in soaps usually gets raised by their actual parents.
That's true.
I just take a look at that other show. We got whole kinds of parents just missing, getting elected, running away. All Port Scout's going to be raised by Yuri. We'll talk about that at 11. Andre Demira is gone, so don't expect to see Andre, which is good because Andre was the bad one. Tony was the good one.
Okay.
Tony was just suave and full of life and just energy and was just there for his Hannah. He tore up that prenuptial agreement, Mother. He tore it up right in her face. Now we share everything, Anna. Now we share everything. He talks like that.
Okay.
But anyway.
Let's talk about something from this week.
Fast forward 40 years.
Yes, fast forward 40 years. I want to talk about, and this week I'm not much of a Tate fan.
No?
No.
No? Oh, we're going to start with the kids, the ones that we forgot last week.
Let's start with the kids.
All right. Crazy Tate.
I didn't like, the whole thing with Holly. The whole thing with being in bed with poor Sophia and calling out Holly's name.
Yes.
So, this is not what I was not happy about with him.
Mm-hmm.
That boy didn't hardly even buckle his pants. He was out the door running over to Holly's house.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't hardly even buckle his pants. I think he just zipped them and just went to run.
Oh my gosh. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
And it's funny, but it's soapy how they're using the kids situation to have Ava and Brady start up.
It's super funny because it's like every 2 weeks Brady goes, I forgot about Tate. like every 2 weeks he goes, oh man, I've been so involved. I have not been noticing what Tate's been up to. It's just like the third time he said it.
Out of jail. I suck at this.
From Teresa going to jail to him running over Sarah and having to take the blame, or for Fiona running over, blah blah blah, that whole Sarah situation, into now the serum. Like these things keep on coming up, and at the end of them, Brady keeps on saying it every time. I forgot about Tate. Teresa needs to get out of jail because at least with Teresa, he had some backup.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that they don't. It's a good thing that he's staying with Marlena right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because that kid he wouldn't even have no food in the fridge.
No,
he wouldn't have nothing.
No, you'd open it up and flies would come out. There'd be cobwebs in the back. The light would flicker.
He'd be one of those poor kids where you open up the fridge and what is there? Ketchup and that's it.
Dad, it's cold. Did you pay the heat bill? No. Okay. He tries to turn on the stove, but he can't because the gas has been cut off.
Exactly.
Mom, I need some help. I need some money. She pulls out of her commissary in order to make sure that Tate can have lunch at school.
Right.
Because Brady's not paying attention. This is not. We need to call CPS. What's the Salem version of CPS like? That's what I want to know. Which character would lead CPS in Salem?
Would lead it?
Steve Johnson. No,
I think that.
Can we bring back Kimberly Brady? She can do that.
Well, Paulina wants to be in charge of everything.
Well, she is in charge of everything. She's the mayor.
I know, but she wants to be ultra in charge. She probably put on that hat too.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be the DA.
I'm waiting for her to do that. Man, I'm out of choices here. I just have to do it myself.
I don't know what Jackie's been doing. I don't know if it's Ozempic or just good choices, but she's looking good. Great. She's looking good, right?
Yeah, she looks good.
It might be, Ozempic is super popular with the Hollywood elite now.
Well, it's super popular with everybody.
But I heard, though, that if you start taking that, you have to take it forever. Otherwise, you really wreck yourself.
And you will immediately gain the weight right back too.
Right. I don't know if any of that's true or not, but that's what I heard. That's what
Well,
the
I don't
streets
know
were
either.
telling me. And you know how
I
often
don't know
I'm out there
anything
on those
about it.
streets. Constantly on the streets hearing things like this. Just like
Mm-hmm.
Lady Whistleblower, whoever she may be now.
Ah, that's Hattie. Come on. It has to be Hattie, right?
Yeah, you know, tainted cupcakes. Lady
I think
Whistleblower.
it's Hattie. I think, but they could put some kind of spin because it's too obviously Hattie.
Just
So
a little red
perhaps it's not.
herring.
Yeah. Maybe it's
Kimberly
going to
is
wind up
Tate's
being
grandma.
somebody else. Maybe it's going to wind up being somebody else that we don't think of or that's not on screen right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, you know what? Amaya says, well, Kimberly Brady is Tate's grandma. Because I mentioned Kimberly Brady coming in to run the CPS because she likes the kids. She feels good for the kids.
Okay.
She got a heart for the kids because she was ABUSED as a child by her uncle.
Oh.
A story that we probably wouldn't do in 2024,
No,
but we did it in
not.
1983, right?
That's different.
Right. So she's got a soft spot for children, especially ones that are going through a rough time. So Kimberly Brady for CPS, but Amaya reminds me that Kimberly would then be, you know, Tate's grandma, and that's crazy because the Kimberly Brady I know is 25 years old. She's too young to be a grandma. What are you talking about?
Well, 40 years has went by though.
I know.
And now she's 65 years old.
Oh, good old exercise and diet is best. Yes, it is, Sue. I don't know what that's from, but everybody eat well and Paulina.
Oh, back to the
exercise and diet. Ozempic exercise diet. I don't know exactly what it was, but Jack A, you're looking good, lady. You're looking good.
I think she looks good too. And I actually noticed it when we saw her last.
You know, she did have that knee surgery, so I wonder if there was some mobility issues that she's now over. Because I know someone who had a hip replacement, and it went from like, oh my God, I can't get up to teach that man to do a cartwheel, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. So who's gonna wind up pregnant next, Ma?
Who's gonna over there? Oh, okay, in Salem. Who's gonna wind up pregnant?
Is it gonna be Stephanie? Is it gonna be Joy? Is it gonna be Kat? Chanel?
Well, Chanel maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Sophia.
You know, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I don't know if I'm ready for Kimberly Brady to be a great grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Grandpappy Brady, come on now. Great grandma Marlena.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Crazier things have happened in real life.
I guess it's time to be a great grandma.
I know somebody.
She's old enough.
Or I knew somebody.
Yeah.
She was a grandmother at 28.
Woo-wee, that's young. That's young. Now, Maggie and Marlena and all of them are a little older than 28.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, actually, the fact that they don't have great-grandchildren by now is actually might be a little... Well, Maggie's got one.
Yeah, she does.
She got one, right? Mm-hmm. Or is that just her grandkid?
Sarah's baby?
Maggie's Sarah's grandma, right?
Yeah, just her grandma.
Yeah, okay.
Maggie is Sarah's mother.
We really have to do a special...
Maggie is Sarah's mother.
See, I don't know anything about who's related to anybody and how.
So Victoria is the granddaughter.
See, Maggie needs to have a great-grandbaby. Who's Maggie's great-grandchildren, folks? Let me know.
I don't know if she got any great-grandchildren yet.
Mm-hmm.
They do. If she does, they're not on screen.
Marlena has great-grandchildren. Well, there you go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. Maggie is Sarah's mom. These branches of these trees, Mom. There's too hard for me. They're too hard.
Because they're convoluted so often in soap operas. They have to have a historian just to make sure that they're not going to have a Hulk irradiated baby.
Irradiated Hulk baby.
Yeah, they have to make, they have to look at bloodlines all the time. Historians have to see that, okay, because you could be married and not by blood and this and this and this and this and this and this and not be related at all.
Because like Tom and Alice were Julie's grandparents, maybe that's where I'm getting all mixed up from. Sammy's a grandma because of Will and Allie? Holy smokes. Sora's.
Mm-hmm.
They need a medication against Soras.
Uh-huh.
Just a vaccination.
And then Days of Our Lives too. They source the whole cast by 5 years sometimes.
Victoria is Maggie's great-grandchild. How could Victoria be Maggie's great-grandchild if Sarah is Maggie's mom? Wait, if Maggie is Sarah's mom. I don't understand. And I'm not going to waste any more time trying to figure out. What I am going to do is hope that Xander gets into another fight soon.
I do love a fighting Xander.
He's going to have to beat up a Philip before
He's very entertaining when he's mad. He's very entertaining when he's mad. You know who I miss already?
Mm-hmm.
Stefan.
You already miss Stefan?
I do.
Yeah.
I like Stefan. I like Stefan, the character. He is swarmy but good at the same time.
Yeah, there to stir the pot and feel guilty about it.
Yeah. And he'd go to the docks and shoot you right in the chest. He don't care.
And then go back and be like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, just don't tell anybody, okay? Maggie has no great-grandchildren yet. See, even the chat who are experts in Days of Our Lives don't know who's related to who. So that means Days of Our Lives dropped the ball somewhere.
Probably. Didn't Stefan go right to the back of the bistro and shoot Harris straight up? No problem?
Yes. He just bam. And then we wondered who shot Harris for the longest time. And he's okay, by the way. Harris just was like, I'm out of here. Moving out.
I'm done with Ava.
Moving out. I'm leaving Salem. Going to Port Charles.
Yep.
Oh God. So yeah, I guess it makes sense that Sophia might catch a child.
She might.
Mm-hmm.
She might. Yeah. I do like the Ava and Sophia relationship though. I like that she's kind of being her mom. Ava's kind of being her mom in a way.
So why wouldn't they just make it Ava's daughter then, Like I don't.
Yeah. That she's, kind of becoming more of a daughter to her, and Ava's mama bearing already too,
Mm-hmm.
Telling Brady off.
Right.
All that tension. All that sexual tension they're creating.
I don't know. I don't know if I can handle it, Mother. Just to be so titillated at 6 a.m.
I tell you what, though, if I were Ava, I'd be watching myself real close, because that Kristen Demera will do anything for her Brady boy.
I'm not sure how much she's going to be willing to do after this week, though, because she was not a happy camper over the result of her efforts.
No, she's going into attack revenge mode now, because that's all good old Kristen has.
I'm reminded of a person that I know very well, that I grew up with, who would shout at the top of her lungs, whether or not it was real or not, "You promised!" And I kind of get that feeling from Kristen, this time as well. Kind of a "you promised"
I know
situation.
it's ridiculous though. It's ridiculous. Kristen would. It's soapy goodness, but it's very counter to me for Kristen, because Kristen to me would not be seeming to like, oh please like me kind of thing. She just wouldn't do that.
No.
And she made herself vulnerable a little bit.
A lot of it.
She made herself vulnerable, and Brady just didn't make any promises. But at the same time, she was pretty ridiculous to think that was going to work.
Well, what are we going to do? Expect a soap character to not think ridiculous thoughts?
I know.
On top of that, though,
bartering for the attention of a man, I might throw up right now. No.
Oh my gosh. So, yes, and if you take a look at Kristen over the last couple of weeks, though it makes perfect sense, everything that she's done since forever has been pretty Brady-centric.
It has been very, very.
Hiding the car and crushing the car.
Unfortunately, the worst thing Kristen does is she uses Rachel as a bargaining chip all the time.
Yeah, she's crazy like that, but also that's what Brady's invested in. So I'm going to use this investment to my advantage as best I can.
It's the only thing she has.
But I mean, she crushed the car for that man, tried to keep him from being accused of the crime for no other reason than I'm trying to help you in this, Brady, even though it's me doing criminal activities to help you hide your criminal activity.
If she would have done the whole serum thing with no attachments, she probably would have gotten herself some Brady.
Well, it was originally kind of unattached because she wanted to start off the serum thing to get Brady out of jail.
Yeah.
But then he got out on his own, and then that turned into, well, now I can try to maybe get Titan out of this thing.
Yeah, now I can.
But she gave up on that because Brady asked her to. And now look at that. Look at that. She's explained it perfectly well. Everything that I've done. I now look like a fool in front of the board. And now I'm not going to get... I was doing the right thing. Look at what it got me, and I was doing the right gosh darn thing.
Well, exactly. But it didn't start out being the right thing, but she oh...
No. It was always the right thing in her mind.
Yes.
Her reasons for doing these things was to help Brady. The good guy. Good Brady.
The good Brady.
Going doing this for good Brady because I love him and I want to be together in a big happy family. I get it. Is all I'm saying. Poor lady. Poor woman. So they're suggesting that Melissa Horton, could have had a child off screen because she hasn't been on the show in a long time. Which then would make Maggie a great-grandmother. So I don't understand it still. I'm not even going to try.
Okay.
I'm done. I'm done, you guys.
Next week, maybe we'll get some clarification because so many people are going to come to town in the next 2 weeks.
It's so true. We really have to prepare ourselves emotionally and also with our notebooks.
Yes.
Because, I mean, we know Kristen Alfonso, right? So, that's not somebody that we're like, like we know Hope.
Sure.
She's in the preview.
Sure.
Taking the phone call and being sad. Okay. We got Susan Seaforth Hayes crying over the body double of Doug.
Yep.
I don't know what to do without you. Something like that.
Yeah, man. I imagine that doing those scenes was the most hard yet gratifying thing that she could be doing. She could have done.
I think that it's really important for us to keep in mind. One, we don't know these people, so we just make it up, right? We're all just making, even you guys, we're just making up because we don't know these people.
Exactly.
But I have known people who are old, and there's no doubt that these two are old. And it's not like they know that they have another 25 years ahead of them.
Right.
So I would imagine conversation, thought, and discussion was likely had about what to do, Bill, about us when we get to a point in which it's not us anymore. Because we're not leaving the show. The show has clearly showed no intention on leaving us. They keep on writing scenes for Julie and Doug. They keep on inviting us back. So that means that the show is going to have to deal with this at some point. And we've given our literal lives to Days. I think it's probably, I feel like it might be a little easier to get through than a lot of people are assuming.
Maybe. Did you notice, Matt? I noticed this when we went to Day of Days. When they had them do that long walk across that very wide stage, which was a total waste of time. But anyway, Susan Seaforth Hayes, she scampered across that stage like she had 38-year bones.
Oh yeah. She could have done a cartwheel.
She actually could have. She looked, wouldn't she? She did not move like someone in their 80s.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh,
so good job staying spry, Susan.
Yeah, she's like, and she had lots of it. You could see that she just had lots of exorbitant energy and was very, dynamic still. Very.
Doug held the show together for decades with Julie, says Sue. And I'd be curious to see some of that. Clearly it was before 1985, because by the time I'm watching 1985, I'm watching Hope, which is their kid. A full-on adult, already married to Bo and having her own adventures. So obviously, there was a lot of Doug and Julie before this moment in time.
Sounds like it. Maybe in the 70s, there was tons of Doug and...
They could have been the 70s super couple for all I know. I saw some pictures. Doug dressed up like Dr. freaking who. But, you know, whatever. It's the 70s. What do we expect? Not an acid trip? Something made by sober people? Come on, this is the 70s. Bill, Susan, and Ken Corday were good friends. Many dinners and with sing-alongs, says Sue. Well, that's nice.
Aww.
So lots of memories, lots of love for Days of Our Lives in the Seaforth Hayes family. And I really think that we're going to see that coming through on screen. Yeah. Not only from Susan Seaforth Hayes, which of course, I know, now I don't want to undersell. I know that I said it's probably a little easier than we're assuming, but that doesn't mean that it's like a skip through the park either.
No, it's not. It's still not not a regular day on set.
No, but the thought of like shooting this stuff and not being able to make through and going home and trying to rip your eyes out of your sockets because you cried too much. I just don't think that we're there with that. You know, I don't think she'd be willing to do it if it was going to be that hard.
I agree.
So, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. And I can also see how they really want to give something great to the fans, to the people who have watched Doug for so long.
Absolutely. You know, I really do think that soap opera actors are so sincere when they talk about their fans. Mm-hmm. You know, because soap opera fans are a different breed than your ordinary television viewer, because the content we're watching is so a niche.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I don't know. I'm getting ready. I'm not going to feel the same emotions as most everybody else because I have no memories of Doug beyond dancing or singing for Dick Van Dyke's dancing. Like that's my only Doug memory.
Me too, really.
You know, I mean, he's had a couple of scenes here and there, a couple of nice little chit chat conversations, but when it comes to any sort of like impactful, that was really cool. It was pretty much that. So
yeah,
that's what I'm gonna anchor on, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to get through this one and then get ready for the next one. And then hopefully we can put this kind of stuff away for a little while.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Would be wonderful. That'd be wonderful.
Wouldn't that be?
You know, because pretty much the entire time we've been podcasting, there's been a looming funeral of an actor that's passed away.
There has been.
Okay, from Victor to Doug and to John. And I would like these looming funerals to be finished in our broadcast.
Over, huh? Well, that makes 3, and you know that whole saying.
But then also at the same, But then also at the same time too, that also goes to show how much love and care and compassion they have for their long-term cast members.
Sure.
The fact that they literally can have this job until their life leaves them.
Mm-hmm.
Is pretty great.
It is.
It's pretty great.
It is.
Oh gosh. There won't be a dry eye in the house for the old-time fans, says Sue.
Sure, that's very, very true. And it's going to be so cool to see all your old favorites return.
I am sure they will have Doug flashbacks, says Michelle. I think that they've already prepared a litany of Doug flashbacks.
I think so too.
It's going to be a week filled of memories, of flashbacks, of love, of conversation, and returning faces that we haven't seen in some time.
And I'm sure it will end with the end of the week will end with a big Thanksgiving celebration at the Horton house,
in which they open the box and inside is a picture of Doug or something. Remember the box? You know the box.
Yes, I'm all for opening that box on Thanksgiving Day.
And inside is a turkey.
Inside is something to be grateful for.
Oh my God.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good and soapy.
It's 2 words. Each other. Mm-hmm. It's historical days. No, Sue. It's olden days. That's what I'm running with. That's what I'm running with.
I love it. That's very clever, actually. I like it. The olden days? Yes, I love it.
Yes. Let's see. Johnny and Chanel are dumb. They're just dumb. I don't root for them is what it's come down to. I've moved on from wondering how I should feel to just split up. Just be done with each other. This isn't good for you too. This is not the passionate love that you must fight for. You know, we're going to overcome these hurdles and see to the other side. No, I just don't think you two are right for each other.
I'm not super invested in the 2 of them either. They don't give me warm and fuzzies. They don't. And I don't like this little Joy girl either.
No.
I don't like her regard for other people. She doesn't really have any, and I hate the way she speaks.
She's a female Alex.
And I hate the way she speaks to her mother. Her mother ought to grab her by the hair.
You know, of the people around that I really think could just knock the tar out of their daughter, I do think that Patrick O'Darbo probably could. I get that sense from her that she could like, I don't know if it's because she's got like a low center of gravity or something and just like a really, good potential for some just explosive movement when it comes to a punch, but I get the feeling that she could scrap. Probably has a number of times.
Now, let me be fair though. The mom's quite irritating too.
Maybe they should fight each other.
She's very irritating. Very, very irritating. This is a grown woman. Okay, Joy's a grown woman.
No, it's my daughter.
I mean,
She's not a grown woman. She's her baby girl.
Oh yeah, but you just have to. Well, as your children get older, need to know when you need to inject and when you need to shut your mouth.
Well, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't.
She hasn't got a clue.
I wonder how long they're going to stick in town. I wonder if Joy's around for a while.
I feel like Joy could potentially be around forever. I don't know what.
Joy was not at Day of Days, was she?
No.
That tells me that she ain't there no more.
Well, maybe she's not there anymore then.
Maybe not.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I'd rather not look for. See, I don't want to call it golden days because that assumes that today isn't golden. It's disparaging.
I agree.
So anyway, sorry, Sue. But those olden days sure were golden, that's for sure. Anyway, stuff and junk.
Olden days.
So yeah, I mean, Joy, whatever. Maybe she's gone. Maybe she's gone. I don't want to look for clues though. You know what? Well, she was here. They were there. That person's following that person. That must mean that in 4 months we have something to expect.
Right.
I don't want to do days
You'd
investigative
rather
journalism.
ingest it in a daily basis kind of way and
not.
That's more fun.
Like the news that broke about GH. Like, just shut up. Just shut up and let it happen. We'll talk about that in 11, folks.
Yep.
So stay tuned if you're a big General Hospital fan. Big news on the GH set yet again. Just news after news after news when it comes to that show.
No. I wonder I wonder what space and time does the whole Days. Now Days let what's his name go, right?
Brandon Barash?
No. The head the show.
Ron Cavallari.
Right. John.
Ron.
So we let him go, right?
Yeah.
I wonder when in the next few months where is that point where it's not him anymore?
I believe it's February.
Oh.
Because the people who whine, the people who go online to complain, they know the exact date in which they no longer have to be subjected to such terrible writing.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's February.
You think it's February? Okay.
Let's see. Amaya says, arguing with you, mother, with all capital letters and 8 exclamation points. I say exaggerating. Her not being a Day of Days means nothing, she says with a growl as she screams across the internet at you, mother. Because Brandon was there and he isn't on the show. Mary Beth wasn't there and she is. And then after that, she threatens to come to your house to beat up your husband? My gosh, Amaya. It's too much, Amaya.
Let's go.
I added a lot there that doesn't exist. But she said that it might not necessarily suggest anything due to Mary Beth not being there, but Brandon was, and maybe it was just a little loosey-goosey this year.
I believe that if the Day Players had not been involved in Day of Days, indeed he would not have been there.
I'm still getting paid.
Yeah. And I also think that from what I've seen a couple of Day Players things this week with Leo there and no Brandon. So maybe they're switching out a Day Player too.
So Leo Howard you're talking about, who plays Tate, not
Young
Leo
Tate.
Stark, who's the character in Days of Our Lives. He's showing up. I saw him replacing Wally Kurth more often than Brandon. So maybe they should just make a 5-day player band.
I think they should, and whoever can be there can just be there.
Yeah, swap it out.
Swap it out.
Freebird rule. Freebird rule.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness. Oh, gosh. See, and now Amaya laughing. She's cackling with evil.
Now, you know who day players can't do without?
Eric Marstolf.
No, that dude that's playing lead guitar behind him on the acoustic.
Oh, absolutely. The actual band, do you mean?
Yeah, but actually, yeah.
The one with the drum kit at his foot and the guitar in his
Yes.
hand, who's playing the actual, the actual song while everybody else just like shakes a shaker.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go, let it go. Go see a
I
day
don't know
players show,
though.
you guys.
I do enjoy watching Brandon. I mean, I do, well, Brandon too, but I really, really, really enjoyed watching Eric
You
with his
love.
box drum. So good.
There's something about the
Looking
men of
sexy.
Days of Our Lives, folks. The men of Days of Our Lives specifically, not necessarily the men of General Hospital, Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, and Beyond the Gates. But the men of Days of Our Lives. Ooh, my mama thinks they're so sexy.
Some of them are.
Ooh, she can't. She loves herself a little Paul Telfer. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there's a little Eric Marstolf in there. She even thinks herself so Wally Kurth could be handsome at times.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you know?
Bobby Kurth is just so I don't find him so handsome as I find him so endearing and cute.
He's a wholesome, neighborly man.
And I like those dimples of his.
Ah, that's what it comes down to. She's a dimples lady, everybody. Well, he's been busy, I assume, with GH. Maybe he's playing some major story on GH right now since the Quartermain house is filled.
Oh man, that's fun. That's fun.
But let's see. Anybody else I need to write down? Oh, yeah, Abe. Somebody said in the chat that Abe has maintained his look over the years. He still very much looks like how he used to, and I can agree to that. He looks and sounds the same.
Yeah, you sent me a little clip of him.
Yeah, all he did was get a haircut.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, his voice also changed. You know how people when they get older, their voice gets like deeper and gravelly and all. His voice has always sounded like that. It's still exactly the same.
Yep.
Ah, that's great. You go, cat,
forever.
says Sue. So you have Sue's encouragement, mother. So carry that forward into life.
I will.
All right. So, are we excited about Philip?
I think that perhaps I would be more excited about Philip if I had been watching it longer. I think I'm missing a piece of the puzzle of something about Philip that I should be more excited about.
I think what's really starting to show here is the end of Ron's time at the show, because I'm watching. I know these people. I'm podcasting about it weekly. I talk to my mom, and I'm picking up and remembering enough to get through the hour.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't necessarily say that any one of these stories is ultra impactful. Anything that's going to necessarily leave me with a strong memory, or really anything that I'm particularly like, are they going to get to this by next Thursday?
Right.
What does it do? I'm not really feeling that about any of the stories.
Well, it seems to me they're kind of at a launching pad, aren't they?
I feel like one plane is coming down as the next one's about to take off, and we're just kind of standing in the terminal right now,
it feels that way.
to be invited to the gate.
I agree.
So that's just kind of how I feel about Days. Don't take that as me not liking it.
Well, of course not. And how can we not like it? We're heading into our favorite season of soap opera land.
Yes.
The holidays.
Yes.
I like some warm and fuzzies and the holidays. I like somebody having one too many poinsettia mixed drinks and being a fool.
Whoa, don't drink the poinsettia mixed drinks, folks. Don't do that. You will die.
I tell you, there is such a thing as a poinsettia cocktail. You be careful with that one, okay?
You're gonna die.
It's misleading.
It
also goes down too smooth.
It's also poison. Poinsettia
It's not actually got poinsettia in it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But it's like you're supposed to have a little garnish of it, and it's the right color.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, really delicious. And it will really, really make you super drunk before you realize it. And perhaps you'll say something stupid. So be careful.
I see. It makes you a dumb drunk. Doesn't matter what kind of drunk you are. If you drink that, you become a dumb one. Maybe Days needs a new writer. Sue, I have great news for you. They already got new writers. It's just a matter of time before we start seeing their material.
Yep. Because, like we all know, they film everything. My gosh. I think there should be a rule on how far ahead they can get.
I don't know whose choice it was, so it's hard for me to say about that. You didn't we hear a rumbling from somebody that they might be looking to reduce that 6 months to something more like 3? I think we had a conversation with somebody about that. So, and they would know.
They would know.
So
they would know.
So we'll see.
But to do that, they'd have to have some dark weeks.
That'd probably be good for the budget too. Like, hey, we're just not going to film for 3 months.
Actually, taking the whole month in December off is a great idea.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe that's what who knows? I'm sure already they go dark for at least 2 weeks. Might as well go dark for 4. Take the whole month of December off. I love it.
Excuse me. I love it too. I think everybody should always take December off. I think I should take December off.
I don't think that's an opportunity for you, Matt.
Why not?
Because you're busy.
But what if I did something cool with that time?
Well,
like what if I did a podcast series about Stargate?
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I love that show.
Wouldn't that be fun? Do you guys want to watch me talk about nerd stuff like Stargate? Richard Dean Anderson is on it.
Yeah, he is. The original Jeff Weber.
Heck yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of, do you like
Elizabeth
Beau Bridges?
Daddy.
Do you like Beau Bridges? Beau Bridges is on the show.
I saw Beau Bridges. He was having a good old time at the CMAs this week. I saw him. He was sitting behind somebody. He was having a good old time.
Oh, he's on Matlock now.
Is he?
Yeah, man, with Kathy Bates. Kathy Bates is Matlock.
Yeah.
The show that convinced her to not retire.
Kathy Bates looks so not weird. So different.
Yeah, she also got on the Ozempic.
So much weight.
Ozempic, I'm telling you.
No, Kathy Bates had bypass like me.
Admitting it on the air. Everybody now knows my mother's secret.
Yes. I had gastric bypass 11 years ago. I used to look really different.
Was it really only 11 years ago?
11 years ago.
Some things seem like they were 25 years ago, but were not. Other things seem like they were yesterday, but weren't.
Actually, it'll be 11 years in February.
Wow, I thought it was a longer time than that. Beau has the most beautiful blue eyes. I saw them in an elevator once, says Sue. So, I think at this point we can all tell how invested we are in the Days of Our Lives story, given how much we talk about Days of Our Lives during the Days of Our Lives podcast.
When he's got dark hair. If you have really dark hair and striking light eyes, my gosh, it's so beautiful. Where opposed to a blonde person that's got real striking blue eyes, it's not as noticeable as someone with dark hair.
Oh yeah, I remember high school Chris Cuneo. Oh boy, just the darkest brown hair and the brightest blue eyes. I remember.
Well, look at your nephew. Dark hair, and his eyes.
I don't look at my nephew.
His eyes are almost purple. They are such a cool color of blue.
I never noticed, and I just saw a picture of that kid at McDonald's.
Well, that wasn't up close.
Purple Valerian eyes, like Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, you'll be able to talk to dragons. Okay, give us a topic, folks, on the chat. Throw a Days of Our Lives topic out of there. We'll talk about that for the next 10 minutes, and we'll get the heck out of here, because I did not take deep notes.
Okay.
I did not take deep notes.
All right, you guys, what should we talk about?
We didn't talk about no Chad Cat JJ and their plan.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
That's because I don't believe in their plan.
You don't believe in their plan?
Clyde Weston, he's always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of these dumb children. I'm going to be sitting here in my prison cell, and as they give me my book from the library, inside past page 42, there's going to be a note tucked into the edge. I pull out that note, and what's the note going to say? They're on to you. Change your plans. And so I did.
I don't understand. How is it that why don't they have some kind of plan with Clyde that's a little better? I mean, they blindly just do what he says.
Well, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna send decoys. It's not gonna be us. It's gonna be other people." And I'm like, "Isn't this how this whole thing started? There was an
Right.
Abigail decoy. Like,
Right.
just Chad, Chad, you're not an
Yeah.
adventure man. Okay, go run the newspaper. All right,
Mm-hmm.
go work in your little tiny one office newspaper outlet. I know you don't have any employees anymore because one of them died and the other quit to go write a soap opera.
Mm-hmm.
But go back to work, buddy."
Even Stephanie's not there anymore.
Yeah, she's not doing PR for nobody. She's like, "I'm not doing
Mm-hmm.
PR for the Demiras. I'm not doing PR for you, Philip. I'm not doing PR for the newspaper. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do PR for companies that aren't on the show."
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's this one Newman Enterprises called me, and they're
Mm-hmm.
from an alternate reality, and I'm working for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the
And
name
Stephanie
of
and
their.
Alex are going to wind up back together.
Well, yeah.
I mean, together.
Well, yeah.
A real relationship.
Yeah. And it's going to be one of like fun and enjoyment, and it's not going to be filled with drama yet.
Not
Except for
yet.
joy.
Except for joy.
She wants to take the joy away from everybody.
She does,
She
doesn't
wants all
she?
of the joy for herself.
She probably, Alex would have reached over to her. She could have had a little.
Did she?
I don't think she would have dejected that.
Did she ultimately say yes to Philip? I don't even remember. I don't even remember.
Either.
Stephanie also does PR for Paulina and Body and Soul.
Yeah, and then she almost got fired.
See? Look at that. She's bad PR. She's bad PR.
She just can't keep her panties and dress on very long. That's
funny
all.
Because last year, at the Day of Days when we went there, we talked to Abigail Klein, who plays Stephanie. And I didn't know what she did for a living, the character. Like, of course, Abigail Klein's an actress. But I didn't know what Stephanie did for a living. And so, questions, conversation, yada, yada. What do you think? What would you like? Blah, blah, blah. And then her answer was, well, she does PR. And so, I think that she's a really smart person who's seeing a lot of like what could happen before it comes out because she's PR. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. And I'm like, oh, so your character does PR. Okay. Oh my gosh. Sometimes.
That was the very, 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 very beginning of our viewing. So we know a lot more now.
Oh my gosh, we do. And that was the same because she was with Stephen Nichols. So that was the same time I said that Patchy lost his eye in the war, which he laughed at, by the way. He did laugh. In the war? You really haven't watched. That's what he said.
Yep.
That's what he said. And Stephen Nichols, I hope you had a great time. I hope that belly laugh was real and it wasn't because you were mad at me. I hope that you're not pretentious. I hope that you're not arrogant.
I bet he's not.
I bet he's not either. How can you be on soap operas for 45 years and be an arrogant person?
I don't think so.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I think old Maurice Bernard's change in attitude over on that other show was because people were like, Maurice, we're going to have to fire you if you don't calm down.
Right?
Okay. All right.
Right?
Let me chill.
Mm-hmm. You sit over here and shut up for a change.
Yeah. So next week, I think next week's podcast is going to be super engaged and energized and amazing and super fun and full of chatter.
You think so?
Well, yeah, because we're dugging it up.
We are dugging it up.
We're dugging it up, and the show should be hitting the pedal to the metal.
Yes.
Stephen Nichols studied to be a monk? Well, I'm happy to hear that, because I thought I offended the man. If he studied to be a monk, then he's probably pretty steel core.
I think he's probably pretty zen, isn't he?
Well, now I want to watch Stephen Nichols and Jeff Kober have a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Jeannie. I hope Walmart had what you needed.
Man, you're taking your life into your own hands going in the Walmart this week. Holy moly.
Oh my gosh, I also gotta get some, before it's too late. I have to find a ham. Apparently,
I don't even have a turkey yet.
Apparently that's not what's happening in this house this year, so I gotta find a ham.
Oh, you're not doing turkey?
Well, there's a lot of white meat, and it's just not good. It's not as tasty.
It's not.
So
yeah, I agree. Your sister asked for ham for Thanksgiving, and I said, so sorry, we're not doing that.
Christmas, however.
But Christmas is a whole different story. We will indeed do a ham for Christmas.
When my sister starts hosting Thanksgiving herself, she can have a ham.
Exactly. Exactly.
Going to a 7-year-old birthday party later. Oh my gosh. Well, that's exciting. Let's say hello to little Thomas Demira as you go to Thomas Demira's birthday party. Thomas and Charlotte, right?
Thomas and Charlotte,
That's
yes.
right. Have we ever seen Charlotte, or have we only ever seen Thomas? I think we saw
we've seen
Charlotte once, like before. She was hanging out in the
We've
Horton
seen her
house.
a couple of times.
That's right, before the Horton house burned down. We saw her.
Well, actually, we saw her when Chad was making sure they stayed upstairs and didn't see their fake mom dead.
Ah. Yes. Yes. All right, folks. Well, that's it. You know, we're getting ready. We're getting ready to talk about General Hospital here in an hour. We're getting ready for next week's Days of Our Lives. It's going to be impactful. It'll be memorable.
It will be.
If you have an Amazon Fresh near you, you can buy a turkey for 50 cents a pound.
Oh, you know what I got near me at the Winco?
Yeah.
Winco, and you know you can spend $125 a drop of a dang hat in the grocery store.
Sure can.
You spend $125, that bird is free.
Hey.
So I'm going to Winco Monday morning.
Oh, okay, Jeannie. Well, you have a great time at Lincoln's birthday party. And we're going to have a great time podcasting about General Hospital in a little bit. Thanks for muddling through and making it through this particular episode of Days for Dummies, Days of Our Lives.
It wasn't all... It was, this week I would have to call it very set up, don't you think?
Yeah, honestly, like I sat here and sincerely, I sat here to make my notes and all that kind of stuff and kind of pre-think about what it is there is to talk about without having the conversation in my head ahead of time. Mm-hmm. And I came up with almost nothing. And yeah, you're right. It's because we're setting up for whatever triggers we're going to be pulling over the last couple of weeks. Like other than like Javi and Leo's spat.
Yeah.
You know, I can't think of anything that was like, oh, you know, I mean, Xander pulling Kristen out of the room. That was a fun moment.
Mm-hmm. It was.
You know, but, you know, overall.
Yeah, Sarah, what are you
doing? Yeah. However, you know, but overall, though, you know, not a whole lot to necessarily break apart, discuss,
right,
analyze as podcasters. So thanks for hanging out, though, folks. I hope you had a great time.
I do think that Javi and Leo will be together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, I don't, you know, maybe it's because it's just not for me. You know, Leo's just not for me, you know?
Mm-hmm. And they ought to, and Javi, he better listen to Gabby or Gabby should fire him. Because he's a lousy employee.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Totally. And then Rafe quit the force. You know, I mean, just a bump in the road. He'll be back.
Yeah, yes, he will be back. Paulina was stupid for doing that anyway.
She was. We talked about it last week, though. I mean, all the meat from that was last week, not necessarily this week. So
that's true. That's true.
Oh goodness gracious. That's it though. We're gonna get out of here. All right, class dismissed. I mean, this was our holiday Thanksgiving episode anyway. You know, the rest of the campus is closed. Nobody else is here except for us.
No one else is here
because we're crazy. Because we're dedicated like that. Because we're gonna show up.
And you know you don't learn anything the week of holidays at school.
Exactly. So, you know, exchange recipes in the comments, folks. Like the video if you had a great time. Subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber.
Yes, please.
Yeah, do your homework. Go spend some time with your family. Swing for the fences.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
We'll see you at 11. Goodbye.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving!